Okay, let's use GitHub Copilot to do some microarray analysis. So I already have it installed, and what I'm gonna do first is to describe in natural language what I want to do. So we just want to do some AFI microarray data analysis, and we specify use lemma and load the phenotypic and data and .sol files. Now this is the interesting part. As I go through the code, Copilot suggests what I should write, and here correctly suggests to load the phenotypic data and tells me how. Then it moves to the loading of the cell files, although I'm not sure this will work as it is, but let's continue doing. Then it tries to normalize the data, and this looks fine. Then tries to fit the linear model, and here I believe it's forgetting the design. We never described that. Then it goes to the contrast, as we should do, and suggests some groups there. Then it fits the contrast using the matrix, and then gets the statistics. And finally, it suggests to use the truth table to get the top expressing transcripts. So that was quite good. It went through most of the steps, and I think we'll have to debug it a little bit, but it will work. So the first thing that we need to change is the phenotypic data file name. So we didn't specify anything, so the GitHub suggested 1, but so we corrected to what we have. Then we have the loading of the cell files. It was a little bit messy. We had to add the oligo and this rawness phenol data variable, but other than that, it was okay. So after loading the cell files, it does the expression matrix that we are expected, and then it tries to fit the model, but since we don't have the design, it fails. So we try to specify, hey, make the design. First it says fit the linear model, and then as we start writing, it remembers, yeah, we need the design matrix, so he writes that and then suggests how to do it. Here we are using this generic expression, and when we run it, it doesn't work just because the variable that we want to use, this group variable, doesn't exist in our phenotypic data. We have to change it for type, as you can see, and now when we run it, everything works, so that was good. Then we need to fit the linear fit because we need to define the design matrix. But once it's done, we move to the contrast. The contrast has these groups that actually are also generic variables that we have to change it for what we have in our design, so our phenotypic data. So if we look at our design, our variables are type control and type experimental, so we need to change for that. We change one and we change the other one, and we are good to go. So we create the contrast matrix. So when we run that, we have a look at the contrast matrix, and we see indeed is what we expected. We have type control 1, type experimental -1 as the contract, and the rest is straightforward. We fit the model with the contrast matrix, we get the statistic, and finally the table. So that was it. It was pretty good. It requires some minimal debugging, but they are good. GitHub Copilot and microarrays.